So welcome everyone to the NSF RFDataFactory workshop. We are excited that you have chosen to, some of you have chosen to come here in person and be part of this awesome in-person interaction. We're also thankful to the many others who have joined in online. I think truly this is a community workshop where all your inputs, whether you are in present or in online format, your inputs are valuable. So just to kick things off, I welcome you all to Northeastern Campus and to beautiful Boston. I hope you have some time to enjoy Boston too. We only have 3 months that you can do that in the year, so please do. So I'll just pause here and I'll hand over first to the National Science Foundation to give us a sort of an opening address and kicks things off, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about the workshop and what we are trying to do in just a bit. So let me invite on the podium Dr. Murad to please come and address us. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for, I'd like to thank the organizers for organizing this workshop. I'm not going to say it's a timely, probably it's a long overdue workshop on data sets, and we are happy that such effort is being done and it's getting quite a bit of interest from the community. I think it should not be surprising to perhaps let you know that we're thinking about doing something on data sets, and we're sort of looking to hear all these nice thoughts that might come out at this workshop. And right now on data sets seems like a wild west where many things are going to happen, maybe happening, but it seems like randomly. And workshop like this probably will bring some organizations to the community in terms of data sets and how people can trust some process to share the data that they might have that might be applicable to wireless communication research. So as a community, I think it's important for all of us to hear each other and see what we can do. And I also like to take the thoughts here and bring it to my colleagues at NSF to see what we can do to help the community further the efforts and benefit from the data sets in the wireless communication research. Again, I like to thank the organizers and all of you attending this nice workshop, and I'm eager to learn and hear interesting thoughts and inputs during these 2 days. Thank you. The next person is going to be, I guess, John will address you, and after that, Alex Brinson from NSF will share his thoughts. Thank you. Thank you again.
Okay. Can you all hear me? Just need a thumbs up from somebody online, perhaps. Good. Okay, thanks. So thank you, everybody. Really glad to see this workshop happening and really appreciate the work of the organizers. I want to highlight the broader context of this work because really the community that grows around these data sets and that in the future is going to work on these topics has a key role to play in the overall future of spectrum efficiency and robustness. Work on the data side complements other efforts, some of which are going on, some of which are envisioned, on widespread continuous collection of spectrum information. Putting that type of work on the collection together with what might come out of this workshop on the data management, the data processing, putting those two together is critical for growth towards a future of more efficient and robust spectrum use. In addition to driving research, broadly available spectrum monitoring data is critical for spectrum management and innovations. In the most broad sense, this is what enables us to move towards closed loop control instead of open loop control of the spectrum. Broadly available spectrum data is essential for data-based policy and regulatory decision making. More heat and less light, more light and less heat in DC would be a good thing. And then really to increase the trust that spectrum users will be protected from interference. We have to be able to rapidly detect and mitigate interference in order to build that trust. And that trust is essential because of the slow evolution of the spectrum environment today is really driven by the lack of trust. So there's all sorts of ways in which data like this is really, really critical. And it's important, I think, to think about the different users of this data in the future, because each of them has their own requirements. Researchers, for sure, this community requires labeled data to train AI and ML. But if we're going to use the data for interference management, we need fast, near real-time information. So we need, systems that can stream the data through. If we're going to use the data for regulatory enforcement, that means we need a chain of trust, right? You need to be able to prove in a court of law that when you say these bits were observed at this time in this location, that's actually what happened. And then finally, policy authorities. They may not need trusted details about a given incident, but they need an accurate overview. They need to see what's happening on the broad scale and know that they're getting an accurate picture of the world. So I'm saying all of this because I want to encourage you to keep in mind the path towards these broader needs. When we start talking about data representations and system designs, metadata standards, security mechanisms, and privacy mechanisms, let's keep in mind where we're trying to go more broadly in order to get maximum benefit for the future of spectrum access. Thanks very much. I look forward to the workshop, and I'll hand it over to Alex.
Yeah, thank you so much, John, and thank you, all of you, for coming here and spending your valuable time for generating ideas that NSF can pick up, and hopefully we can do something about this, right? Because it's a long-standing problem. It's very non-trivial problem. We have definitely need. If you go to any PI meeting, right, everybody is saying, okay, we lack data. All those people who now are developing those fancy machine learning algorithms, they need to validate them, they need to prove them, they cannot no longer do it like using traditional techniques. They all relies on data. So we're really looking forward for ideas that we can, again, later on pursue. For example, data sets as a service, right? So how people can, for example, request data sets that they need. We also have a huge investment in our platforms, and Northeastern is definitely playing a huge role here there, like in our platforms for advanced wireless. Now we're looking at data sets as part of infrastructure, right? This is something that people need, and we actually can leverage our power testbeds to generate data. So kind of using our existing equipment to generate sets that people can actually use. Again, all aspects of interest to us, including like curation of data sets, maintaining them, validation, making sure that its metadata is available. So again, looking forward for all your great ideas, and we'll be taking notes. And thanks again, Koshik, for organizing this. I know we talked about this long time, and but finally we came here, and great to see all of you. Thank you.